Hello, this is Dr. Prasad Putilam, BIDTK258 Innovation and Design Thinking. Module 1. This is for my students. This class I will be taking the same slides I will be presenting in the class also. But before presenting in class, I am recording it because this recording system is very easy for me. So I am recording it so that when I take the class, you can understand it better. You can participate in more discussions and making it more interesting than just me only explaining it and you are doing. Anyhow, you people did the activities based on this concept. So if I explain it right now, you will be able to understand the things in a better way because you have already undergone a practical session by yourself with your classmates by incorporating these concepts of innovation and design thinking. Okay, so module 1, the syllabus says process of design, that is understanding design thinking, shared model in team-based design, theory and practice in design thinking, explore presentation designers across globe, minimum viable products and prototyping. Okay, so the understanding design thinking, how this design thinking concept was introduced and why this design thinking concept introduced and why this subject is there in your syllabus. Okay, to connect that, it can be connected from 1957 onwards, where the Soviet Union they launched their first vehicle called air vehicle called solar vehicle called Sputnik 1. Okay, so Sputnik, everybody heard that Soviet Union's. Okay, so this created an impact on the Western nations, mainly the United States, USSR, and okay, so they started worrying whether the Soviet Union is going ahead from them, whether the satellite which is launched by Soviet Union will control the other nations. So this has created. So in order to respond to that, and even the people have started questioning the government that this particular government, Western Union governments, they are not doing anything. The other government, they will override us, they will attack us. All those different type of worries came to the minds of common people as well as among the leaders. So to tackle that, they started a union called NASA. NASA was created, established in July 29, 1958. That is to only to counter the Soviet space advances. Now we know NASA, what is the where the NASA stands, that we know. Okay, now this NASA, they oversees the civil space programs, aeronautics and space research. That was the main intention of NASA. That is only to counterattack the Sputnik. Anyhow, the Sputnik it was launched in 1957. It couldn't run for a long time. It got destroyed, but still they developed that technology. So in order to counter that, NASA was established in USSR. Okay, now seeing that the entire tax money collected from the people are getting involved in this type of Cold War by the Soviet Union or USSR, they are spending money to mainly to prepare war weapons, hydrogen bomb, space programs, aeronautics. Only this was happening. Therefore, a professor John Arnold has proposed in 1958, the same year when NASA was created, that we need to have create people not becoming engineers. It should be human centered design engineering. Means whatever they design, whatever they plan, it should be human centered, commonly to entire world humans, not only that particular place or the particular countries humans. Entire world human centered concept should be added. So he started thinking like that, and the statement was given, and it was to create a very positive lasting change beyond the Cold War driven goals. Okay, that was the time when John Arnold proposed this. Okay, then later Bob McKim and McCann of the Stanford D School, they decided and they introduced a program called the Product Design Program at the Stanford University. Then later, David M. Kelly and Bernard Roth, they further modified it into another academic program. Okay, not only a small program, it become an academic program, that design thinking, and that will become the one of the most opted course in that time era, even now also. Okay, so design thinking concept, it was originally developed and popularized by the design school of Stanford, the Stanford Design School. The approach was to combine the problem solving with the user empathy based on how the users requirement was considered. The problem solving was based on the users requirement. It was very relevant because it is the human centered solution, not that I'm preparing one weapon and I'm giving to the market. What is the use of that? Use is the military application, it is needed, but what is the requirement of a person, a human, to tackle the situation, understand that, feeling their pain points and doing accordingly. That concept is called the design thinking concept. The second topic of this syllabus, that is shared model in team based design. So a shared model in team based design, it is a common understanding and the representation of a problem or a solution or a design process, which all other members, team members who are working together, they can agree upon, they can go through it, and they can have come to a common agreement and use as a reference. Okay, that is called a shared model in team based design. So it helps to ensure everyone in the same page, everybody is watching the same page, they are doing the same work, or similar work, means united work, not separate work, and mismatches are not there, and which is facilitating better communication and collaboration. That is the requirement of what is the need of this share model in team based design. For example, we can create a shared design brief, a project goal or a target audience or user needs, or key features. It can be documented and kept in common place where everybody can see, or by using a mobile app or a new app which the team creates to brief, and everybody can go through that. Even the teenagers, for example, given before designing a new app, the team creates a brief that states the app is for teenagers to help them manage their homework. So the brief, it includes features like a task list, the reminders, and the progress tracking. So that can be one of the shared model, shared design brief. Okay, what are the conditions, what are the list present in the tab that is mentioned. Or it can be a user journey map. A user journey map means it is a visual representation of the experience of a user from the day he purchased the product till uh, till he means he throw in the sense the product goes for its valid date. Okay, so that procedure, observing how the user is using that product, that observation, many users, such observations are collected and recorded. That is called the journey map. It's not that somebody is going a journey, a trip, and all. That process is called the journey of the product from the day it reaches to a customer till it expires. That is called journey map. Okay, then comes the visual representation solution. Visual representation solutions, like we can have visualization, like diagrams, sketches. You have already in your class, you did the say I call it to make the prototype, but prototype we are not doing. So what they made you to present it using diagrams, possible three dimensional diagrams, sketches. So that comes under visual representation solutions. So that if you draw it, and when you share it to the our class groups, others also gone through that. Some of you might have got some feedback from that, whatever you are drawing or the idea, a positive feedback or even a negative feedback you might have got. So that is a type of a shared model in team based design. That also activities done in class, and you might have gone through that experience. Now the theory and practices in design thinking. The definition of design thinking says that it combines both the theory and practice in problem solving. Okay, now right now I'm taking the theory part of that. Practice I already implemented first. Usually people take theory first and then practice it. So that theory part they will forget, and while doing the practice they may not recall it. So first doing practice, then doing the theory, it in a reverse way, if I think, I think that will be more effective. That's why I followed this year, or all these years I have following this method of teaching this particular topic in class. Okay, now what is the theory? Theory of design thinking. It is the principles of different concepts, the structured processes of doing innovation, the tools which are used to get it done, or the methods which is followed, or modified methods which is followed to get it done. These are all the theory part of the design thinking. Whereas the practice, that is the real world applications, to understanding that whether the product that we are developing, whether it has got real application is there or not, or simply you are making for the namesake. No, it should have real world application, then only it will go to the market, means it will succeed in market. Then doing the user research, identifying how the users are using it, that is called a journey map, and are creating that is user research. Prototyping, doing it, again changing it, modifying it, prototyping it, and even collaborating with others who are in the similar type of field, or who can support some of the component. That collaboration is also there. The theory role, okay, I already explained what is the role of theory, what is the role of practice, already it is mentioned here. And the interconnection between these two, they provide the framework. Practice applies it, practice improves the theory, theory enhances the practice. Okay, so that's about that. Now, what are the different stages of the practice in design thinking? Well, first stage, empathizing stage. The main objective to understand the needs and the pain points via research and observation. Needs, anyhow we know that we need something for some purpose. Pain points, what is the inner feeling towards that, what they felt, which they are not able to convey to everyone, or they are not able to express it. But as a design thinker, you have to discuss with the customer, you have to talk to them, take it out from their mind. It won't come out so easily. Identifying the pain point is the toughest part in design thinking, I say. Okay, that comes under the empathizing stage. A lot of research, a lot of observations required to understand the user's pain points. Okay, the empathy which connects user perspective for innovation. For example, technique like empathy technique are conducting interviews, conducting surveys, or making a group and a focus group, observing how they are behaving to a particular product, and observed user behavior for insights. Experience user problem to identify the solution. Use the maps, empathy map, to visualize user thoughts and emotions. Encourage diverse perspective and embrace feedback. These are the theory part, I can say. Okay, when we are trying to get the feedback, that practical thing already you have done. It is a continuous process also. You cannot stop once you got it. You don't say that I have collected all. No, you might have not even collected 50% of the requirement. So you have to keep on doing it by seeing the progress. Keep on interviewing or keep on doing the survey. Keep on empathizing is very important. The second stage, that is define stage. Define stage, actually in our practice section, what we did, we have identified the empathy that from customers. What you did, you people did it, the discussion in with your close friends. You would have discussion with your friends who are not so close in your class, means other friends of your class. Then you even went out of the class to the campus, met a strange person, and did the empathy. So these are activities that you are done. After that, I told you to consider the points, and I have told you to redefine, means to rename actually the product. Okay, so to rename the product, you have to think what are the empathy stage, what they said, how it can be added. If you add those points to that particular product, what name can be given. In that way, I have redirected it so that this activity can be done, which is define stage. Okay, so synthesizing the data, the key activities from synthesizing the data from the empathize stage, identifying the insights and improvements opportunities, develop a clear POV, point of view based on user needs, define the project scope to stay focused, identify the key stakeholders. So in this stage, actually, before giving a new name to that, you should ask so many questions to yourself. What is the problem or opportunity after doing the empathizing? What actually, what is the actual problem that you are facing, or the customers are facing, and what is the opportunity for you to modify it? How does it affect users in daily lives? What are users specific pain points and needs? What are the goals and objectives of addressing this? These are the few questions that you can ask during the define stage. Then comes the ideate stage, generate ideas, a wide range of ideas for solution. Okay, so empathizing, they will give so many ideas or pain points. Based on that, you need to have a series of brainstorming sessions with colleagues, or with your friends, or with the experts in that one, for diverse ideas. As a team, you need to do it actually. Okay, so that's why in a class I made a team. When we renamed as a startup company, and all those procedures also we did to understand how what is a startup company. And okay, so the mind mapping, the sketching to visual expert ideas, prototyping, technique like Crazy 8 for quick ideation. These are some of the activities that will be done. Actually, activities means in the real practice, how the company are doing, how the expert or the successful companies, how they are doing. They are doing any of this different ideas, different activities they will do to understand, or to reach to the, or to satisfy the idea stage. In that, one of the main one is how might we questions, HMW questions comes under ideate stage. Open-ended questions to generate various solutions. For example, improving user experience, making product more eco-friendly. This, how might we do that? Okay, everything should start with how might we. The question starts with how might we, then n number of questions has to be framed, and to find the answer, that comes under the ideate stage. Then comes the prototype stage. Prototype, the main objective to create a physical or a digital representation of the solution for the testing. Prototype means actually you have to make a prototype, model, working model only, not the drawing that you did in class. That comes under the second point only, to understand the others can involve in that. But as a practice, I'm not practically difficulties we face in our regular class hours, weekly 1 hour class. So I made you to draw that as a prototype, but actually it is not a prototype. Okay, so preliminary model or sample to test and evaluate the concept, that is actually prototyping. Exploring the usability, feasibility, or desirability. The ranges from very low fidelity to very high fidelity prototypes are also there. And this also you have to keep on doing, not one prototype prepared and stop. The one prototype prepared, make it work, whether it fail or succeed, further modify it, keep on doing it. Finally, when you satisfied that the users are actually expecting the same product, then you can go for the test stage. Test stage, the main objective to test the solution with the users to gather feedback and improve. Okay, that means even though you are satisfied from your side, but customers may not be satisfied, or the users are may not be satisfied. Therefore, it has to be given for testing. It has to be kept for setting for a long time. Okay, so here also create a prototype for user testing, conduct user testing, thorough interviews. Means after giving the for testing, you cannot simply keep quiet. You have to keep on going behind the user, interviewing them, observing them how they are using, conducting surveys, analyzing their patterns, their way of using it. Everything you have to analyze. Then only you can finalize your product, and that finally comes the validation and refinement. Okay, so if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, or a startup company owner, or to work in a team which are having this concept, or if you have to work in any of the job opportunity that you get, you have to conduct this type of surveys. That is one of the course which we have, that is the business system analyzing part. Main importance is there. Okay, now the examples, some examples given for empathizing, defining idea to prototype, a tested set of examples to understand. Interviewing a user about their frustration with the current kitchen gadget to understand their pain point, it comes under the empathizing, say that interviewing, understanding their point, problems, or mainly the pain points, not the problem message. In the class I might have expressed it, what is that pain point actually. It should come from their heart, which when they use what they thought, which they when they use what they felt, that should we should able to understand. Okay, so define stages, synthesizing interview data to find that users need gadgets which save time and are very easy to clean. It comes under the define stage. One example, ideate, brainstorming sessions to generate ideas like a self-cleaning blender or a multifunctional chopping board for that particular kitchen gadget. As a kitchen gadget comes under ideate. Prototype, create a simple mock-up of the self-cleaning blender to test the concept. A working model, that is prototype. Test, letting the user to try the mock-up blender and gather feedback to refine the design. That comes under the testing stage. Now, there are people called the presenter designers or the professional presentation designers. They are the expert who specialized in creating visually compelling and effective presentation slides for various purposes, includes the business meeting or conferences, academic lectures, and marketing pictures. These are also well part of a design thinking concept. These designers, they blend design principles with the strategic organization of content to enhance communication and engagement. How they create this presentation? They see which company, what type of company, what are the customers, what type of customers. They do the survey. Based on the survey only, they prepare the presentation slides so that when they present it, it will it will reach to the customer, or the company can feel that okay, it exactly touches what they wanted to tell. Not only, let's say that when we talk, even we are emotional, when we are angry, it comes in our face expression, it comes same way. Whatever we present, that also should give that feeling. That has to be done by the designing part, that is done by the professional presentation design. Some examples of such professional presentation designers across the globe, from USA to because these are the one who are very successful and started very early. Director designs and Ethos 3 are two main from US, Presentify from UK, 24 slides from Indonesia. So many are there, many countries are there. Only 4 or 5 examples I took. Okay. Now, what is the minimum viable product as part of our syllabus of module 1? It is the simplest version of a new product with just enough features to make it functional, not adding all the features. Whatever the minimum to minimum required feature, it is added and kept a working model, that is called a MVP, minimum viable product. The purpose is to test the product idea, gather user feedback before investing heavily in development. Means what is the major work that you wanted to incorporate, only that one is included in this prototype, and it is given for testing. So many other sub ideas yet to be added, but the major concept you want to test. For that, if you prepare a model, that is called as a minimum viable product. So the benefit is cost effective, time saving, helps in refining final product based on the user response. So the last topic of module 1 is prototyping. Already prototyping what we explained, but anyhow again it is given the syllabus. So I have to conclude it that it is the one which is used to test. Before testing it is done. Okay, it can be in a wireframe, that is the website type, where the every design is not given, but every whatever content were to come, everything is given, that is wireframes in case of website, or it can be a mock-ups, or it can be a working model also. Related to the minimum viable product, often used in conjunction with the minimum viable product to quickly validate and improve the product idea. Purpose anyhow, that is to before testing stage, to check whether it is working properly or not. So thank you very much. The same will be explained in the class again. The same slides will be presented in class. Nothing to worry. Okay, please be ready for a better discussion in the class. Thank you.